Welcome to Bloomberg Law. I'm Lee Pacchia. Earlier this month, charges of hacking by a British tabloid owned by Rupert Murdoch's News Corporation turned into a full-blown scandal. Joining me now to talk about the legal ramifications is Robert Anello. He's a partner at the law firm Morvillo, Abramowitz. His practice includes white-collar crime, complex civil litigation, and internal corporate investigations. Welcome.
How are you doing, Lee?
Good to see you. So you've actually worked on a hacking case before, and you've conducted several internal investigations at media companies. Looking at the News of the World situation that News Corp is facing, how does it compare? Is this the worst you've ever seen?
Well, it's certainly the most extensive disclosure, at least what's in the news as of now.
You expect it to get worse?
It certainly sounds like you've got an avalanche of material there, so I think the revelations will increase.
So let's go over what we know. The scandal breaks. News Corp decides to shut down the tabloid News of the World. No executives, no high-level executives have been fired as of yet. Is News Corp going about this the right way?
Well, we don't know what they're doing behind the scenes, but certainly at this point, at this juncture, you would expect that there will be a top-down and bottom-up investigation. So if they're doing that, they're going about it the right way. They obviously have business as well as legal concerns to consider right now.
So how do you get started? I mean, it's a large company. There are subsidiaries all around the world. What's the process a company needs to go through when they discover something like this?
Well, the process is obviously in a case like this, because of the multifaceted aspects of this company, is to look at the tone at the top. You need to determine whether or not the people on the top knew what was going on. And worse than that, if they actually condoned what was going on. You would begin an investigation like this generally from looking at the lower level people and working your way up. They may not have enough time to do that, so they may have to scramble right now and be looking at both their senior executives and the lower level executives.
So what should other companies in similar situations, in similar industries and market sectors be doing at this point? Is this something that should prompt the internal reviews in every company?
Undoubtedly it will. When an industry is hit with a scandal like this, one that suggests that it's pervasive in one company, it's certainly likely to exist in other companies. And clearly we've had those kind of problems here. We've had, not so much with media companies, but we had 5 years or so ago, we had Hewlett Packard had a problem when they were doing their own investigation of pretexting and hacking. We had lawyers out on the West Coast in the Pelicano case who were charged with illegal wiretaps. They're all of the same nature. So companies certainly right now have to be looking at their own practices, look at the type of investigators that their reporters are dealing with, and determine, and I'm sure they are, determine whether or not they have these kind of problems.
So this investigation is obviously going to continue in the United Kingdom, but I wanted to get your thoughts on what this is ultimately going to mean for Americans. News Corp is based in America. It's traded on U.S. exchanges. Eliot Spitzer had a really interesting article come out today in Slate, on Slate.com, that basically said it called for the Department of Justice to prosecute the company under the FCPA, the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. Do you think there's any likelihood of that happening?
I think there is. I think either the Department of Justice will be looking at this because they are a U.S.-based company, News Corp, or, and equally likely, the SEC, because they are a reporting company in the U.S., and very often when you have an FCPA violation, which is paying a bribe to foreign officials, you'll have a problem with your books and records, because the payments have to be characterized as something, and you don't generally characterize it as a bribe. So I would not be surprised to see both the Department of Justice and the Securities Exchange Commission look at this.
What do you make in terms of timing? Do you expect them to wait to see what comes out of the United Kingdom first, or do you expect them to be extremely proactive and just start something as soon as possible?
I think they will probably do both. I think they will probably begin the groundwork now, but because the UK is a very sophisticated country, both financially and in terms of their criminal justice system, my guess is they will let them take the lead. Generally, when you see FCPA cases, it's in areas where law enforcement doesn't think is doing an adequate job policing bribery in that country. In this case, the UK is obviously a sophisticated country.
Right. We have a slight twist here, though, because some of the investigators in the UK were actually or allegedly involved in the scandal itself. So you have a little bit of a situation there. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Do you expect any indictments to come soon for high-level executives from News Corp?
It certainly is a very good possibility. The kind of revelations that have come out and the extensiveness of it certainly suggests that the high-level people there may have had some sense of what's going on.
Robert, thanks so much for coming in today.
It was a pleasure.
That's Robert Anello. He's a partner at the law firm Morvillo, Abramowitz, based here in New York City. If you'd like to learn more about the case or issue we just discussed, go check out our offerings on BloombergLaw.com and also on the Bloomberg Terminal. I'm Lee Pacchia. Thanks for watching.